Hello.
Hello. I made it.
Wonderful. So my name is Noah, and I come here every Wednesday to teach a class at 10 o'clock in the morning. But today we're going to do the class. Usually the class is the whole body, so we use different body parts. Today we're going to look only at what will contribute to us not falling. Or if we do fall, then how to do it gracefully and not to hurt ourselves. Fair enough? Okay.
That's about falling today?
Today it's about falling. Because when we get older and our balance is not perfect and we're not secure of where we're putting our foot, then sometimes we can trip. There are things that we can do to prevent it. When we work in the chair to get ourselves a little bit more knowing where the balance is and how to work with the balance. So let's start by sitting all the way to the back of the chair, with the back touching the back of the chair. And your feet are underneath your knees. And see if you can feel the weight on your feet. Is it on your heels? Is it on your toes? Can you feel your toes?
My hand's on the toes, I think.
Can you feel the outside of your feet? Can you feel the inside of the feet? And we're going to push the feet a little bit strongly, kind of push it into the floor. Press your feet into the floor like you're trying to imprint your foot into the sole of your sandals or your shoes, and let go. And again, push the foot into the sole of your sandal or shoes, and let go. And notice, are you breathing in or are you breathing out as we're pressing the feet into the floor or into the shoe? Some of us will breathe in, some of us will breathe out, and some of us will go, oh my God, effort, and I'm not going to breathe at all. So just notice. The beautiful thing about movement is that we get choices. Just like when I teach you, I get choices which words to use. So in movement, we have choices as well. So we are pressing the feet into the shoe and letting go. We're pressing the feet into the cushiony part of the shoe and we're letting go. And notice now, what tightens up? What happens? Are your thighs tightening up? Are the muscles in the back of your leg tightening up? Is your buttocks tightening up? Can you feel that? Any ideas?
Yes.
What do you feel tightening up?
My knees.
Your knees and the muscles and the buttocks? Can you feel maybe that when you push your way down, it pushes back into the back of the chair? Let's play with it. The weight goes into the floor and you get clearer with your spine on the back of the chair. That's an awareness that we didn't have 5 minutes ago. So when we push into the floor comes with the equal pushing. Now what would happen if we push only with the right foot? Push only with the right foot and let go. Push only with the right foot and let go. Does the weight go to a different place now?
Sort of goes up, I think.
It goes up and back to the opposite shoulder, doesn't it? So do it fast,
That's just with the right foot.
just with the right foot. Just the right foot. Push, 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 push. Can you feel how it's going to the opposite side?
Why is your left leg being the one that's pulsing if you're pushing in the right foot?
I'm saying right, but I'm pushing with my left because most people are in front of me and they're mirroring me.
Well, you're confusing me.
Because you're sitting almost in the back of me.
Yes.
So now we're gonna do the other leg. Good, good. Yeah, very nice. So now you're gonna push your left, I'm pushing my right. You can start slowly and feel how it's shifting to the opposite side of your body and up to the opposite shoulder. He's my helper. He's been coming here for
It does.
many years, 13 years. And then start doing it fast. And let it go. And take a deep breath. And let the breath go. And see how you feel now inside your body. Do you have more awareness of where your feet are? Do you have more awareness of your hip? Or maybe how you're touching the back of the chair?
My knees hurt. Is that
Your knees are what?
hurt?
They hurt.
Yeah,
And they didn't hurt before?
probably, but probably I didn't notice them the way I did.
Okay, let's see if we can let go of create something that will ease the pain in the knees. So now we're gonna move halfway forward onto the chair and move the feet a little bit forward. And we're gonna move the knees in and out, very gently,
To the side.
in and out.
In and out.
In and out. So we're moving the knee to the outside of the feet, the feet, and into the inside of the feet. To the outside of the feet and to the inside. So the knee will align with a little toe and it will align with a big toe. It will align with a little toe and it will align with a big toe.
Not sure I'm doing it right.
So we're moving very, very small. The center of your knee, this bone, it's called the patella, that knee moves until it meets the line of the little toe, and then it moves inside until it meets the line of the big toe. And if you have problems with the tendons around the knees, when you move either outside or inside, it will create pulling and discomfort. So I'm trying to get you to feel which one creates discomfort and how to find the center where your knee is aligned right in the center of the leg between the second and the third toe. And once you get to the middle, so the middle of the knee is right above second and third toe, we're going to start moving the knee forward and back. So you can put your fingers on your kneecap and move forward and back. So see if you don't go in towards the big toe, but forward. Think that you are tracks of a train. So you can't move inward, you have to go completely parallel. So the knees are parallel to one another, moving forward and back, forward and back. And it doesn't move big movement because we don't have a lot of movement in the hip. Try not to lift your heel. Some of us think that if we lift the heel it will go further forward. It's just an illusion. See if the feet can stay on the floor and you're gliding from your hip. So if you put your fingers on your hip, right here, can you see me?
I can't see it all.
Okay, you put your fingers on the bones of your hip and you move forward and back. And you look at your knees, the knees are moving forward and back. And you can do it in a chair, you can do it in any seating, on the floor, in your chair, in any chair. And rest for a minute. Now, some of us, because of years of habits, when we move forward, the leg goes whoop, either a little bit or a lot. Or maybe the other side goes whoop, falls in. We don't want that. We want the muscles on the inside and the outside of the leg to work the same amount. So without letting the knee fall in. See, again, if you can go smaller movement, but only straight back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Okay, and rest the legs. And now put your hands on your legs and slide the hand forward and back. And again, the same arm, forward without bending at the elbow and back. So my arm goes from the shoulders all the way through the fingers, forward and back. And it pulls my shoulder, right? Can you feel? How much of my back is turning to be able to go forward and back? Forward and back. So I'm not going down with the whole back. I'm just allowing my arm to go forward and to come back. Very good. And allow the shoulder to be dragged, to follow, to join the arm. Excellent.
Are we doing both legs at the same
We're
time?
doing now only the arm.
Oh, just the arm.
Only the arm goes forward and back. And now we're going to do the other arm. Maybe it's going to go the same amount, maybe it's going to go less, maybe it's going to go a little bit more. So we're not trying to go down. That's not the direction. The direction, we don't try to go down. We try to go with straight arm to allow the shoulder to move forward and back and forward and back. So I'm not reaching to the middle of my thigh. That's not the movement. Don't touch your lower leg, please. Put your hand on the knee and go diagonally forward. Don't touch the leg. Only the hand can glide over the knee and coming back. So don't wrap and touch, because that will turn to round your back. See if you can go with the shoulder. I'm looking for rotation in the spine. Okay, good. And come to the center. And now let's turn palms up. And straighten your elbows. So now palms up. And again, lengthen the shoulder and the arm and come back. And lengthen the shoulder and the arm. There you go. That's the movement from the spine. See, I'm not going down. I'm turning. There you go.
You can feel it.
Very good. Let's do the other arm. Reaching and turning. Reaching and turning. Reaching and turning. There you go. Excellent. Good. And rest for a minute. Keep your hands up, the palm of your hands up. And now we're going to use the eyes. So as my left arm, my right arm, but your left arm, whichever arm, I don't care. When the arm goes forward, look at the fingers and come back and look at the center. And look at the fingers and come back to the center. Look at the arm lengthening and the spine rotating. And reach and come back. And reach and come back. We'll do it one more time. Excellent. And now the other arm. Reach and look at it. Excellent. And reach and look at it. And reach and look at it. And reach and look at it. Good. And come back to the center and take a deep breath. And let it go. Ooh. And one more. Deep inhale.
What is it?
And let it go. Excellent. Going back to the first arm. Reach, look, and the opposite knee will go backwards. And come back to the center. Now the other arm. Reach and look, and the opposite knee will go backwards. And the hip will go backwards. Again, reach and look, and the opposite hip goes backwards. And center. And opposite. And center. And opposite. And center. And opposite. And center. And rest for a minute. Take a deep breath. Does this movement remind you of anything? What does it remind you of? What am I doing?
Seesaw.
Seesaw? What else? What do we do like this?
Reaching?
Reaching? What else?
Walking?
Walking, yeah. Or running. Exactly. Okay? So this movement of the hip with opposite shoulder is what we do naturally. This is how we are wired biologically, physically, to walk. When you were in your kitchen many years ago cooking and you needed to reach, you reached with this arm and you pushed with the opposite side. When you were mechanically fixing something underneath the sink years ago, you were leaning with opposite, right? So this is something, what I'm bringing to you today is something that your body knows, but you kind of let go. Being maybe comfortable or not comfortable and giving up a little bit of what your body already knows. So let's go back to what we really do know. So we're sitting on the middle of the chair and we're putting the arms like this and we're going back and forth, and now we're going to go a little bit faster. And see that you don't go side to side, but small and forward, small and forward, forward and back, 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 forward and back. And allow your spine to go boop, 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 boop. It can be really, really small. And now make it even smaller. Gentlier. Let your nervous system start listening to the rotation from the base of your spine to the top of your head. And see, close even your eyes and see if your eyes are moving from side to side. Just a little bit. Because when we walk, we don't go right and left like this. We go just tiny, 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 tiny. Just like we did with the knees over the little toe and the big toe. That's what the eyes are doing. They're just moving enough to keep us in balance and rest. You know, have you been to the circus? You've seen this guy with a big stick, long stick on his head and the plate on the top, and they balance the plate? That's kind of what the eyes are doing all the time as we're walking. They are balancing this big plate over our spine. So just have this image of the guy that can do it with an extension and the plate. So just get really quiet, stretch your arms, palms up, and see if you can feel the spine getting longer and longer, stretching above your head. And your eyes are the plate up there. And see if you can balance it and feel that the plate is not leaning too far down the ears because it's going to fall. And if it falls, it will break because it's not plastic plate. It's the real thing. It's grandmother's china.
Grandmother's too.
I used to see you tomorrow morning, about 10 o'clock. Is that already?
What's moving? Are your feet moving? Are your knees moving? Are your hip bones moving? Is your spine rotating? Are your shoulders moving forward and back? Is the back of the hands sliding over your knees? Are your eyes moving right and left? Forward and back, forward and back, forward. And make it even smaller. See if you can hear it moving with it very, very delicate. So it's not about muscles and it's not about strength. It's about that wisdom that we had when we were babies and children. And if we were athletes, we had it then. And we can gain it back now. Good. And come to a quiet place. And open your eyes and take a deep breath. And notice how you're feeling inside your body. Anything you wanted to share? How are your knees doing?
My knees do feel a little better.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
not quite so sore. They're actually sore.
Uh-huh. Any more?
Relaxed.
Relaxed, good. Are we willing to take a chance and move forward on the chair to the edge of the chair without being afraid?
I guess so. Okay.
Good. So at the base of the hip, right at the base, we have two bones. Can you feel the bones? We're going to roll behind the bones and we're going to fall backwards. We're going to climb on top of the bones. And now we're going to let our belly fall forward in front of the bone. And on top of the bones. And now just a little bit behind the bones. Not like blah. Just a little bit, just rolling off the bone. Rolling on top of the bone. And now let the belly button fall forward and roll forward in front of the bones. Very good. And find the tip of the top of the bone. And roll a little bit behind the bone. And on top of the bone. And in front of the bone. And on top of the bone. and behind the bone, and on top of the bone, and falling in front of the bone, and on top of the bone, and behind the bone, and on top of the bone, and we'll stay on top. This is the place that neurologically the bones with the nerves feel the best in terms of finding balance and holding us up erect in space. So it's not about muscles, sit straight. It's not about tightening up muscles. It's about finding where the bones, the skeletal system, and the nervous system can find a place to hold us. And the muscle will just wait there until we give them an order. And when we give them an order, then they come into action. So, sitting on the top of the bones, we're going to shift the weight all the way this way until we're sitting only on one bone. And then we'll come back into two bones on the top of them. And then we're going to go into one bone and back into two bones. And into one bone and back into the center and into one bone. And so the tendency, what we want to do, we want to do well. We think that doing well is moving a lot. So if our hip doesn't move, then we're going to take our shoulder. No need to. We can give this up. Because it's about shifting the weight between these two bones just enough to climb higher and down. And we'll shift to the side to climb higher. There you go. So now the shoulders are not, they don't need to reach. And so these two bones are maybe 1.5 inches distance on most of us. So we just move that far from the center to the bone and back to the center. So 1/2 inch to find the bone and 1/2 inch back to the center. And 1/2 inch to find the bone and back to the center. And 1/2 inch to find the bone and back to center. It's tiny, but that tiny is so powerful because that were the strength and the control and the stability and the flexibility and the endurance. That's where it all starts from. So let me give you another trick on how to get it stable. So as we move to my right, your left, I'm going to push my opposite leg, my left, I'm going to my right, so my left foot will go down. And then when we go to the opposite side, the opposite leg will press into the floor, imprinting into the cushions part of my shoe. And center, finding the other bone and pushing the opposite leg into the ground. So remember in the beginning we did, the more we pushed in, the more it pushed us back? Now, as we push down, it pushes us the same amount up diagonally to the other side. And down on the leg and up through the spine to the opposite side. Down with the leg and up on the opposite side. And down in the leg and up in the opposite side. And down with the foot and up through the opposite sitting bone, up. And down with the foot and through the sitting bone, up. And now we can take it faster. Push and climb. Push and climb. Push and climb. Push and climb. Push push with the foot to climb up.
It's all right.
Push with the foot to climb up and rest. Take a deep breath and let it go. And when we move from using the weight and using the bones, the muscles don't get tired and we actually get energized. Can you feel that you're relaxed, but there is a presence? You don't feel like slouching right now, you feel like you're here. Am I right?
Right.
All right, good. Okay. So, let's have the feet a little bit more in the distance between one another. And now we're going to allow your right knee, your right leg, my left, to turn in and pulling the hip with it until you can hold the chair on the side and the hip kind of like rolls forward. And now we're going to take that sitting bone on that side, we're going to lift it and put it back on the chair and sit. Now, this is going towards falling, right? Because I can fall from here, boom, oh, I fell, right? So just work as much as you feel comfortable. We're not going to fall, I promise you. But as you are rotating the leg and allowing the hip to roll forward, just go as far as you feel comfortable on this, off the chair, and then take the sitting bones and put it back on the chair. And I have this hand holding the side of the chair to make sure that I'm staying on the chair. So just, you can work very small or a little bit larger depending on your, how safe you feel. So again, the right leg goes in, allowing the hip to pull forward. Make sure that you're holding the side of the chair. And then take that sitting bones on my left, your right side, and bring it back up to the chair. Ah, came home safely. And again, take the leg in and rotate the hip and just go as far as you feel safe. And then take the sitting bone and bring it back. So this muscle deep inside is called the psoas, from the spine into the top of the leg, is the one that lengthens, and it's the one that shortens and brings you up. For the guys, if you want to use an imagery, it's like the suspenders are falling off, and you put back the suspenders and it brings you back to the chair. Right? The suspenders are usually hooked on the top of the pants here and on the shoulder. So it fell down and the hip went forward. And you're pulling the elastic and you put it back on your shoulder and it pulls you back to the chair. And now sit in the center and just feel the difference between the side that you're allowed to rotate and come back to the side that you didn't. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Good. And that's less than 5 minutes. So let's go to the other side. Make sure you put your hand on the chair. This is our safety. And let this leg rotate in, dragging the hip with it until the sitting bones leaves the chair. And then allow the sitting bones to pull up and back into the chair. Excellent. And again, allow the knee to lead, and it pulls the hip with it. And then the sitting bones are coming up and finding the chair. And the knee falls and drags the pelvis, the hip, and the sitting bone lifts up. Suspenders go up onto the shoulder and sitting. Good. And again. Falling forward and to the side, rolling. And lifting the sitting bones and put it back to where it belongs. We're back home. And rolling. And what do you do with your eyes? Are you continuing the rotation? And come back up to the chair. We'll do it 2 more times on this side. Letting the leg go, rotating. Use your neck and the eyes, and then rotate back. Putting the sitting bones on the chair. And one last time. The knee, the leg, the hip, the spine, the neck, the eyes. And then the sitting bones pulls up like suspenders. Put it on your shoulder. Hip goes back, legs goes back, and head. All right. Take a deep breath. And side out. And one more. Take a deep breath. Stretch those lungs. And the next step is to getting up. So let's see if it works. At least if you cannot get up, just see it in your mind's eye as if you're getting up. So put your hand, allow the knee to fall in, allow the pelvis to roll forward, place the foot strong, and you can get up of the chair. So we're coming from the side, from an angle, and coming back into the chair. Let's do the other side. Put your hand on the chair, allow the knee to fall, allow the leg to drag the hip until you are diagonally. When you are diagonal, you look forward and up, and you can get out of the chair. And then back down, putting the one sitting bone on the chair, putting the other sitting bone on the chair, and we are. Let's try it one more time on each side. Allow the knee to fall, allow the leg to turn in. Have your hand on the chair. Place the weight into the floor so you can get up.
Go sideways.
I'm going diagonally sideways. Now I'm putting one sitting bone on the chair, another sitting bone on the chair. Excellent. Look at you. Amazing. Good. And one more side. Let the leg go in. Allow, drag it. And please. And diagonally up. And pulling one sitting bone on the chair, another sitting bone on the chair, and good. And let's move the knees forward and back like we did in the beginning. And see if you can feel now the hip moving, the spine moving, the head rotating, the eyes rotating, and everything moving in concert together with listening. So it's not jagged, like one piece moving and the rest doesn't know what the rest is doing. Can you feel now the integration of your whole body? And rest.
Very nice.
How are your knees?
So,
A little sore?
yeah.
Less?
My knees are sore. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any feedback? Any questions?
When you you were getting out of the chair, did you hold on to anything or just got up without holding on?
I showed it with holding to the side of the chair,
Okay,
but you can do it also rotate and go up without. You don't need it, but it's for safety, we showed it in, yeah. Yeah. And as we go, okay, so let's do one more thing. Let's have our hands on our knees and slide the body forward until you feel both feet digging into the floor, spreading like roots, not digging, but spreading like roots into the floor. But don't look down, look forward and up until you can slide out of the chair
oh.
and back down. It's the weight of the body goes forward and up. There you go. This is the same mechanism that you have in the chair, the electric chair. The angle goes forward until you fall out of the chair. But you don't fall down, you fall up.
Yes, good. Quite a few of them doing it.
So it's like when you say, have you fallen in love? No, I was rising in love. So the same thing here. We're not going to fall down to the floor. We're going to fall out and up. Up. We're falling up, just like we're falling in love. Up. Rising in love. Okay? So forward and up. And eventually you don't even need the arm, or you don't need the chair, the arms of the chair, because your weight is forward and up. If you have enough strength in your thighs. So, but it's not really the muscles in the thigh. It's going forward enough until you have anchored yourself so you can find the angle to come up. When I learned it, I'll tell you a story. When I learned to do it on a scale. So the idea on the scale, like to see your weight. So let's say my weight is 90 pounds when I put my, 40 pounds when I put my feet. And then when I get up, my weight is 100. So usually what happens is 40, 120, 100. What they asked us to do is to go 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that gradually will build up. It's to transfer the weight nice and easy. So I thank you for being here and for paying attention, and hopefully you learned something.
Thank you.
Thank you, it was very good.
And I'm here every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. You're welcome to join us. I've been doing it for I think 15 years here. And if you have any questions, Sue can tell you a little bit about the class.
Just be there. Do you do any standing
Thank you.
up exercise, any standing at all? Like that one was good, I like that one. You know, getting.
My class, no, there are many other classes at 10 o'clock that do standing. I work within the chairs because I think you can find
Right.
so many things in the
That's
chairs.
supposed to be good for balance?
Instead of standing.
Yes. What we did right now is totally balanced.
Yeah, okay.
Plus you gotta keep
Monday
the
and
weight.
Tuesday they do.
Right against it.
I cannot do what she asked us to, and they.
Yeah, you can take
Well, I
one
just
leg.
signed up for balance. So I got that.
Very nice.
Yeah.